The rarest feeling in today's world, being genuinely missed by someone who felt your presence even when you said nothing at all. My friends, let's get real. We've been fed 1,000 little lies when it comes to love. Don't text first. Disappear, and he'll come running. Be hard to get, and he'll chase you. But let me tell you something powerful right now. You don't get remembered by being a mystery. You get remembered by making an impact. You don't become unforgettable by going silent. You become unforgettable by showing up in a way no one else ever has. So before we go any deeper, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because I'm about to shift your whole perspective on how to make a man truly miss you. And it's not what you've been told. Hey ladies, imagine this. You walk into a bakery, the smell of fresh bread, warm cinnamon, a little vanilla in the air. You breathe it in, and boom, it hits something deep in your brain. Later that day, you walk down a different street, and suddenly, that same smell floats through the air. And just like that, you're right back in that bakery. That memory, that feeling, pulls you in. That's how memory works. That's how emotional connection works. People don't miss what they can't feel. They miss what made them feel something real. It's the same in relationships. You want to know how to make a man miss you? It's not by turning off your phone and waiting 3 days to respond. It's by becoming the moment he can't forget, the feeling that lingers, the experience that sticks to his soul like a song he can't stop humming even when the music's gone. And no, this isn't about games. This is about presence, real presence, the kind that makes someone feel seen, valued, respected, not just entertained or distracted. You see, my friends, people remember energy. They remember how you made them feel when they were around you. Were you chaotic or calming? Were you cold or kind? Were you trying to impress, or were you being your true self? Because here's the truth. When you walk away after bringing your whole, beautiful, unapologetic self into someone's life, they will notice the space you leave behind. Not because you disappeared, but because what you gave can't be easily replaced. Let me say something else. You ever seen those old arcade games where you drop in the coin, play your heart out, and then walk away with a little prize? Most of what people call dating advice is like that. Insert time, play a role, get a reward. But real connection, real chemistry, that's not a game. It's a garden. You water it, tend to it, let it grow. And sometimes, when you step back just enough, not to vanish, but to breathe, that's when the roots take hold. That's when they realize something meaningful was growing all along. So don't fall for the hype. You don't have to dim your light, hide your heart, or pull away just to be wanted. Be bold, be fun, be curious. Make memories that slap like grandma's cooking. So good, he thinks about it for days. Make him feel something he can't name but can't shake either. And if you do it right, if you show up with truth, laughter, grace, and strength, he won't just miss you. He'll long for you. He'll feel the gap. And not because you played a role, but because you were real. So press that like button, hit subscribe, and stay with me. Because what I'm about to show you next, it's not just advice, it's transformation. Number 1, energy leaves echoes. You don't become unforgettable by vanishing. You become unforgettable by leaving echoes behind, the kind that follow them into silence. My friends, let me tell you something people rarely say out loud. Disappearing doesn't make someone miss you. It just makes space. An empty space? That's not what sticks. It's the energy you brought to the room, the fire in your laugh, the warmth in your touch, the way you looked them in the eyes and saw through them. That's what lives on after you've left. That's what lingers. That's what echoes. Imagine this. You're walking through a quiet street and suddenly you catch the scent of something familiar, like your grandmother's cooking or the same perfume you wore on your best day. It hits you like a memory wrapped in lightning. You're transported, and for a moment, you feel it again. That's what your energy should be like. So alive, so uniquely yours, that even when you're not around, it finds him. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what if I'm too much? What if he pulls away? What if I give too much and he doesn't notice? Let me tell you something real. Your energy is not a burden when it's authentic. It's a gift. And if someone can't hold it, that's not your cue to shrink. It's your cue to shine brighter. You don't have to force connection. You don't have to play a role. You just have to bring your real self to the table. Your quirks, your weird stories, your loud laugh, your random dance moves in the kitchen. Because people don't miss perfection. They miss presence. They miss real. The truth is, anyone can vanish. That's easy. What's rare is someone who leaves something behind. Someone who walked into a man's life and changed the temperature of the room. Someone who made him feel alive, understood, appreciated. That's the kind of woman that keeps echoing in a man's heart long after the conversation ends. So don't worry about disappearing. Worry about impact. Because when your presence is unforgettable, your absence becomes powerful. And stay with me, because in the next part, I'm going to show you the exact kind of presence that doesn't just grab his attention, it keeps it, even when you're gone. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep going. Number 2, the power of presence. In a world addicted to attention, presence is the rarest form of power. My friends, let's get one thing straight. You don't have to perform to be powerful. You don't have to impress, entertain, or outshine. You just have to be there, fully, genuinely, unmistakably present. Because presence, that's the thing that makes the room feel different when you walk in, and noticeably colder when you're gone. Let me paint you a picture. Ever met someone who didn't say much, but the way they looked at you made you feel like the only person in the world? That's presence. Now think about the opposite. Someone who's talking nonstop, but you can tell their mind is somewhere else. They're checking their phone, nodding at the right times, but they're not with you. That's noise, not presence. See, a man doesn't remember how loud you laughed or how long you talked. He remembers how he felt in your presence. Safe, seen, inspired, or just distracted. And here's where it gets real. You don't have to rush to prove your value to anyone. Your presence already carries value when it's rooted in self-respect, clarity, and intention. But when you're caught trying to impress, constantly proving, constantly performing, that's not presence. That's panic in disguise. A woman who is calm in her spirit, who knows who she is, who listens with depth and speaks with weight, that woman doesn't just get noticed, she gets remembered. You ever hear the saying, still waters run deep? That's the vibe. You don't have to make waves to be powerful. Just be still, be clear, and be intentional. Your stillness becomes his anchor. Your calm becomes the breath he didn't know he needed. And when you leave, he'll miss that feeling. He'll look for that stillness again. And when he can't find it, that's when he realizes it was you. So don't try to be perfect. Be present. Be so grounded in who you are that your energy alone speaks louder than any words you could say. Because my friends, when your presence is real, your absence will echo. Stay with me, because up next, we're going deeper into the emotional imprint you leave behind and how to make it unforgettable. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep going. Number 3, emotional impact over physical attraction. The soul remembers what the eyes forget, and when beauty fades, impact remains. My friends, let's talk truth. The world is obsessed with appearances, filters, likes, flawless selfies, body goals. Everywhere you look, someone's telling you that being seen is all about being beautiful. But let me break that illusion for you right now. What makes someone unforgettable isn't how you looked. It's how you made them feel. Think about it. You don't miss someone's hairstyle or outfit. You miss the way they smiled when you spoke your truth. You miss how they made you feel like you mattered, even on your worst day. The comfort in their silence, the spark in their curiosity, the safety in their energy. That's the real magnet. That's the kind of presence that haunts a heart long after the physical fades. Now imagine this. You're walking through an old bookstore, dusty shelves, creaky floors, and suddenly you stumble upon a page with a handwritten note, scribbled years ago by a stranger. It's not fancy, it's not polished, but something about it hits you. It moves you. You hold it in your hands a little longer because it feels personal. That's emotional impact. It's not flashy, but it lasts. It marks the soul. Let me ask you, were you the one who really listened when no one else did? Did you see the pain behind his smile? Did you notice what made him light up? What made him quiet? What made him feel understood? Because emotional fingerprints don't fade. They stay with people. They change how they see love. A man might forget your lipstick shade, your outfit, your hair, but he will never forget the moment you looked at him like he wasn't broken. The way you believed in him when he didn't believe in himself. That's what echoes. That's what becomes unforgettable. So if you're trying to be the one he can't stop thinking about, don't just dress up your outside. Show up with heart. Be the person who speaks to his spirit, not his ego. Because the ego is temporary, but the soul keeps score. Stay with me, because next we're talking about the little things that turn ordinary moments into memories he'll carry for life. If you're feeling this, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep going. Number 4, create meaningful rituals. You don't build memories, you build moments. And those moments, repeated with heart, become unforgettable. My friends, here's the secret no one tells you. It's not the big, dramatic gestures that leave a mark. It's the small, quiet, consistent things, the things that feel like yours and yours alone. That's what turns a passing connection into something he can't stop replaying. We're all out here looking for fireworks, but it's the rituals that build the bond. That little laugh you do when you're being playful, that inside joke only the two of you get, that phrase you say when you're encouraging him, or the way you always remind him to breathe when he's stressed. Those are the moments that carve your presence into his world. Think of it like a favorite song, not the loudest one, not the flashiest, but the one with that line you can't forget, the one that reminds you of something real every time it plays. That's what you want to become. Not a one-time performance, a rhythm in his life. So don't underestimate the power of consistency. That morning check-in, that late-night drive safe, the way you always touch his arm when you laugh. It's not the act, it's the meaning behind it. Over time, those little habits create emotional anchors. And when you're not around, it's those missing pieces, the rituals you created together, that make him feel your absence like a quiet ache. So build the rituals, build the rhythm, and stay with me. Because next, we're diving into the one quality that turns any woman unforgettable: self-respect. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep going. Number 5, stay rooted in self-respect. Respect is not what you ask for. It's what people feel when you walk in the room. My friends, let's cut through the noise. You don't make someone miss you by proving your worth. You make them miss you by living like you already know it. Self-respect isn't loud. It doesn't chase. It doesn't explain itself. It stands tall in silence and lets energy speak louder than words. A woman who is rooted in self-respect, she doesn't need to beg for space. She doesn't cry out to be seen. She owns her space And that kind of presence, it's unforgettable. Not because it demands attention, but because it commands it. Imagine walking into a garden. There's one tree that stands taller than the rest, not shouting, not stretching, not bending to please anyone. It just grows, strong and still, because it knows it belongs. That's you, when you walk through life grounded in your worth. Some people confuse confidence with arrogance, but true self-respect is humble. It's graceful. It knows what it brings, and it doesn't hand it out to anyone who won't handle it with care. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. And when a man realizes you'll never shrink to be chosen, never chase to be validated, he won't forget that. Because while others were busy trying to fit in, you were being whole on your own. So be that woman, the one who can love deeply, but never at the cost of herself. And when you leave the room, he won't just miss your smile, he'll miss the standard you set. Number 6, create emotional safety, then step back. What's rare becomes sacred, and emotional safety is the rarest gift you can offer someone. My friends, listen closely. Men don't open up to everyone. Most of them walk through life wearing emotional armor, trained by the world to hide their pain, their fears, their softness. So when you create a space where he can finally breathe, where he doesn't have to perform or pretend, that space becomes holy to him, but only if it's given, not clung to. Here's the power move. Offer him safety, then step back. Not with cold silence, not with games, with gracious space, the kind that says, you're free to show up, but I'm not chasing. I'll be over here, grounded in myself. Imagine it like a warm cabin in the middle of a brutal snowstorm. He stumbles in, finds comfort, warmth, peace. But if you never let him leave, he starts to feel trapped. Instead, open the door. Let him walk out. And then let him feel what it's like to be back in the cold again. That's when he realizes how much that warmth mattered. Emotional safety isn't about control. It's about freedom. It's saying, I see you, I hear you, and I'll never use your vulnerability against you. And then letting go, just enough for him to feel the absence of what you gave. That contrast, it's powerful. It reminds him that what you offer isn't just kind, it's rare. And rare things, they are not only remembered, they are missed deeply. So give from a place of strength and step back with the same power. Number 7, be the pause in his chaos. In a world that never stops screaming, the quietest soul often becomes the most unforgettable. My friends, let's be honest. Life is loud. It's fast, chaotic, noisy. Men are constantly under pressure to perform, to grind, to never slow down. And while the world chases adrenaline and attention, the one thing he's secretly craving is peace. Not perfection, not performance, just peace. Be the pause in his chaos. Be the deep breath he didn't know he needed. Don't try to be a firework. Be the sunset. Don't try to be the loudest in the room. Be the one who makes the room feel calm. Because when a man finds that kind of stillness in you, it's not something he forgets. It's something he aches to return to. Picture this. He's been running all day, battling expectations, holding everything together. Then he steps into your presence, and it feels like taking off heavy armor, like silence that actually heals. That's the kind of peace that doesn't shout, doesn't chase, doesn't compete. It just is solid, grounded, magnetic. You don't have to outshine anyone. You don't need to be the most exciting, the loudest, or the most fun, because excitement fades. But relief gets remembered. Relief gets missed. A woman who brings peace into a man's life is a woman who becomes a refuge. And no matter how far he goes, he'll feel the absence of that safety, that calm, that you, because in a storm, everyone remembers where the shelter was. So be that stillness, be the exhale in his chaos. And trust me, that peace will echo louder than any words. Number 8, leave with intention, not emotion. Make your absence a choice, not a reaction, because when you leave with purpose, you leave a mark. My friends, let's make something clear. Vanishing out of frustration isn't power, it's panic. Walking away just to be chased isn't strength. It's fear in disguise. But when you leave from a place of calm, confidence, and clarity, that's not drama. That's dignity. And that is what stays in a man's mind long after the door closes. You see, most people leave like a storm, slamming doors, throwing words, hoping to create impact through noise. But storms come and go. What truly lingers is the one who walks away like the setting sun, quiet, strong, complete. That's unforgettable. Imagine two people saying goodbye. One storms off in tears, shouting, trying to make a scene. The other looks you in the eyes, says what needs to be said, then leaves with grace and no bitterness. Who do you respect more? Who do you miss more? Exactly. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about being hard to forget. And unforgettable women don't leave because they're trying to manipulate. They leave because they've learned to choose peace over proving. Your absence should never be a punishment. It should be a message that says, I showed up with love, with effort, with presence. And now I'm choosing myself with the same grace. A woman like that, she's not just missed, she's respected because she didn't leave to create chaos. She left because her standards created clarity. So next time you feel the urge to react, stop, breathe, and ask yourself, do I want to be remembered for the fire I started or for the light I carried when I walked away? Leave with intention. And trust, if your presence had impact, your absence will have power. So, my friends, if there's one thing to remember, it's this. You don't become unforgettable by chasing. You become unforgettable by showing up with truth, leaving with grace, and living with intention. When your energy, your presence, and your self-respect align, you don't have to force anyone to miss you. They just will. So stand tall, love deeply, and never forget your power. If this message spoke to you, hit that like button, subscribe for more real talk, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Stay strong, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next one.